everybody, it's Tyler, your typical DM. I'm here just to let you know we recorded this finale and it ended up being really, really long. So it's actually going to end up being 3 parts. We're going to release part 1 today, part 2 Wednesday, and part 3 on Friday. So you just got a whole bunch of Wanderful this week. Hope you enjoy.
Hi. We're getting right into it, everybody.
Yeah, what was the cliffhanger you left us? I don't even remember.
So when we last left, a hand reached out of the now broken
Oh yeah, that's right.
and sealed gene pipe, and a figure looking very similar to the half-elven gentleman who had first stepped foot out of there. But now that mottled green is now a part of his entire being. No longer is his body covered in like sickly sores and tumors. They're now sort of smooth seam-line scars from his last encounter, and matted sort of similar dark hair, but his same sort of half-elven features in his face. And he turned to all of you and asked, "So, who's this Siegfried guy?"
Did you overhear us talking about him?
Oh yeah. Because I know I specifically heard someone yelling, "Oh no, it's you, that motherfucker." And he points over at Johan. We'll get back to you. But
yeah, no need to be tense.
I'm talking right now, little man.
Yeah, I shut right up. I shut right
up. A couple things are gonna happen. Thing number one, you're going to tell me about this Siegfried guy because I have a sneaking suspicion I should be calling him daddy. And you hear, as he laughs, that doubled over evil laugh that you heard back in the cabin in his troll form. But I'm starting to pick some things up because you see that little snack I had a while ago gave me a few memories. And I'm picking up on a few things. I know you, Johan. I know those gentlemen over there a bit. We had a scuffle in some sort of fashion, maybe because of the, but the little bug fella and that big bastard over there were on my team. So I kind of know a bit about this Siegfried guy, but I feel like you guys know where he is. You're going to tell me where he is, and you're going to take me to him, and yeah, we'll go from there. How about that? Otherwise, I can just, all of you. Just all of you.
You're going to suck us? What?
Right up.
So, to be clear.
What if I'm into that?
He says that and he turns to you and he smiles and you just see like row upon row of those like yucky, fucked up troll teeth. And you can see now that as he shifts over to Johan, his face also shifts into one of the guys who is fighting. And he goes, "Hey, Johan, you want to help us out? You want to help a friend out?" And he's speaking in the voice of one of the other guys.
This is fucked.
And, I hate it. And Johan is just like, you see him just in a rage, and he reaches behind his back and forms.
No, Johan. Johan.
And the guy holds up a hand. He's like, wrong answer. And he pounces out of the thing and leaps onto Johan and straddles him. And as he does that, he envelops Johan's body. There's going to be a contested strength check here.
Oh, God.
No.
They got a tie. Holy shit.
Oh, God.
Again. You see as he is starting to envelop Johan. Like his body is starting to consume Johan. And Johan starts to scream.
Kornoth is going to grab them and try to rip them apart.
Okay, this is going to be a contested strength check. And this is at disadvantage on his part because he's focused on trying to suck up Johan.
23.
23? Oh, wow.
I rolled a 19.
You pull them apart and he reforms midair back into his body form and not this sort of like goo-like blanket. And he looks at you, he's like, oh,
someone with
a two-piece.
No, someone with persuasion.
Can we stop?
Please talk.
Can we stop? We're headed to Siegfried anyway. Like, let's not. We don't need to make a scene. That's where we're headed.
That is true, but I feel like that might take a little longer by foot if we are indeed going to be friends now, because I could, again,
Friend might be a
But I
little
might have
strong,
some.
but we might have a similar interest.
Okay, well, at least let me...
I'm assuming you want to get the revenge for becoming an abomination, which is fair.
Well,
Your
rest
existence is a war
assured,
crime. Yes.
Okay,
rest assured, his death is
Kornoth,
imminent.
Kornoth, let's try not to piss off the booger monster.
Oh shit! Was that mean? This was me like peak focusing.
Maybe don't call him a booger monster, please.
No, you're right. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Minus a few insult points there, you little
I did not.
little whippersnapper. You, on the other hand, he points at Johann. Your death is imminent. You will die by my hands, regardless of how this shakes out. The rest of you, if you're trying to cooperate, maybe get your buddy here to not swing a sword at something that will absolutely end his existence.
You hear that, Johann?
And Johann's just kind of shaken up from that because he was just immediately disarmed.
Yeah.
He's just sort of like solemnly nods.
Just very
And
quickly,
he just dissipates his sword.
Mr. Bebo, Cowboy, Jackson fellow, what was his name?
Beetleboot Jack.
Beetleboot Jack sort of, yeah, they're back
To be
there
clear,
on
Kornoth was
Stance's-
asking them because he already forgot.
He was on Stance's back a little ways away, but he had rode up now.
So, would you mind helping us with this quest to kill the alchemist? Because this fine gentleman.
Howdy. And he waves, and like a series of several hands all wave in like almost like a
That's so
like
cool.
a frame by frame.
This creation is.
And you can see now, like getting a good look at him now that he's standing out of the pod, that pressure of air that's sort of like around all of you is actively repelling from him.
Yeah.
Like there's almost like an umbrella around him. An invisible umbrella stopping this sort of pressurized business from even interacting with him, let alone getting near him.
We need to stop this from happening again. And you were very helpful in that fight. And I am very hurt and will not be helpful in the next fight. So like
Beetleboot Jack's like he stops. He's like, now we can't ourselves stay and help with this endeavor, but this will definitely help. And he passes you their pack, and there are several healing potions, a few rations, and like a few things like that. He's like, we got to get this one back home, but we will definitely be sending people back this way because he is in critical condition. That heal only did so much, and Stance does not have enough magic to fight, and I don't know if I can call upon the light again for a third time this day.
no, that is fair.
However, I can try this. And he holds a hand out towards you, Bugnacious, and you see that orb of light begin to coalesce in his hand, and it floats off, and it connects to your sword and seems to almost eat your sword away, and in your hand is that orb of light now.
Oh,
Okay.
you
Can use the light of redemption for this time being. It's my last sort of use of the day, so you got one chance at this, but this now is in your hand. And when you sort of like squeeze your hands and imagine your sword forming again, not an actual physical sword, but a series of sort of like panels of light, like the refraction from the dome again above the farm and the church itself, begin to form and coalesce a light sort of like prismatic sword in your hand. It feels like the weight of a real sword, but when you open your hand again, it forms back into a ball.
That's cool.
So how does that work?
It is. So it's the same as your, like, you don't have to like erase your sword itself, but just add another one of those long swords, short swords. I don't know exactly what swords you do, but add +4 radiant damage to your attack on that. So you, for the time being, are a holder of the Light of Redemption.
Cool.
And
That's dope.
in your hand, it feels like you just feel this infinite warmth. Like a totally different vibe is coming from you holding this weapon in your hand than like being in the surroundings that you're in and the situation you're in. You kind of feel a little more steeled in your resolve as you face down this new sort of threat.
I'll say to Beetleboot Jack, I'll like kind of look in my hand with this. I'm like, are you sure about this?
We're no good in this fight right now, but you, boy, what you did back there, that was mighty impressive. I know you ain't much for the law, but you got a place as my deputy if you like. And you. And he points down at the green gentleman whose name has yet to be revealed. You touch one hair on these boys' heads, we got men already on their way. He spits at the ground and stands sort of like in that sort of like wishing they could do more, but like sort of like not really, kind of gives you all a nod and is like, stand strong, friends. Do not make fools of yourselves. There will be help on the way.
I just realized this whole time fucking Kornoth is drenched in his own blood.
Yeah. I think I don't.
You look like a Junji Ito painting. Like, you look nice. Giant metal hands, big fucking bloody eyes, just bruises all over where you're like blown veins to the extreme.
Kyle, I just want to say, great pull. I want to say in response to what Beetleboot Jack says, I think I don't say anything, but I think that I reveal more than I typically do with my like facial expressions, and I think that like that feels like I take it as more meaningful than I typically would.
And he's not looking at you as like just like another member of the hive. He's looking at you man to man.
Yeah, and I think that's why it feels meaningful.
Mm-hmm. And they both kind of give you a nod as you guys are now strapped with 5 health potions and about like, I guess you all collectively have like 10 days of rations, so count that up to about 60. You got about another 10 days worth each.
Okay.
Oh shit.
And like a few just minor bandages to stop like critical failure shit. Like you can't heal somebody, but you can get somebody back to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
Cool.
And these are, I mean, like I'd like to have these, but they are currently useless to me. If either of you two need them now, like I could
definitely.
A potion would work on you, but someone trying to cast a healing spell on you.
Oh, potions will restore it?
Yeah, potions and like food and shit and like resting will be fine, but you can't cast a heal on yourself until you recharge fully.
So I think we should heal back up. How many did you say we have?
And I think the guy is just like, go ahead, whatever. It's gonna be a long journey. I'm not, it's not. It doesn't. Potions aren't gonna help you. Potions are gonna help your health, yes. If I wanted to.
Oh no! Yes. To be clear,
time is of the essence.
I am totally cool with you. You're much more sentient right now.
That isn't just stomping this one into a billion million pieces.
Well, let's wait till after we destroy Siegfried. Then you can do that. Let's get on the road.
This isn't no long rest, no short rest. This is drink it up.
Yes.
Let's get on the move. And as he says,
I'll drink it as we're walking.
Walking is stupid.
Okay.
And he reaches a hand out, and those tendrils start to feed off of the Draco Leech and dissolve its wings. And you see he bursts these large, sort of like, almost like flying squirrel, like flaps from underneath his arms and like down to like about his ankles. And he kind of extends his body and grows back into his larger 10-foot sort of like troll self with these wings. And he just looks back at you all and goes, "Ride me."
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm
Eldrick is sweating profusely. Like, you've never seen Eldrick more stressed in his life. That, like, this Draco Leech just almost murdered us, and this guy in, like, 0.5 seconds just, like, sucked up all the energy from this Draco Leech, and it now has that power.
So what are you guys' health at?
Yeah, so
I'm at
how do
37.
We heal? I'm at 21. Yeah.
These are, like, whatever is like the medium tier of like potions of healing, not like a big dumb crazy potion, but like better than your low
I think the base one is a 2d4, and then everyone up is multiples of, like, you just increase the d4. I think up to d8.
Okay, do 3d4 then.
Okay.
And I think it's plus.
Is it plus?
I think it's plus something. I think it's plus the number of dice. So I think it's like 3. It would be like 3d4 plus 3.
3d4 plus 3 then. Yeah.
Okay.
So how is everybody looking?
I'm at 39.
I'm almost back up to full health. I'm at 51.
I am not. Can I take another one? Are you good with that? I took a lot of damage in that battle.
Yeah. No, you're totally good.
Yeah, I think Johan kind of pipes up and is like, I would prefer to maybe have one of those.
Johan, how much health are you looking at? Hypothetically.
I think he only has like 8 health because I healed him for 9, I think.
Right.
No, I healed Boogie.
Well,
Never
like,
mind.
does he look like, how hurt is he? Like, because we know our numbers, but because he's an
He was
NPC, we
at-
don't know his.
I think from Stance's heal, he's at 16 HP.
Yeah,
Damn,
give
yeah.
give
Yeah,
him
give
to
him
him.
one.
He definitely needs it.
How many? We have 5 total, right?
So there's 2 more. Give him both of them.
Yeah, I agree. Give him both.
Okay, so
I have healing spells. I can use them if I need.
how would you react seeing him become that troll thing with these like grotesque sort of?
I'm surprised that he can control it, but like yeah, that sounds about right. Let's just roll with it. This is all crazy.
Eldrick is breathing heavy, just trying to like calm down, like rubbing the hilts of his swords where God, I can't remember their names. My 2 dragonborn friends in the woods etched in those designs in the swords, and I'm just trying so hard to like not die.
You guys board the Yucky Express and grab onto all his nasty growths, because he did go back to Yucky Troll form to extend the wings, and he takes off into the air, sort of flying with Johann's guidance and that crudely drawn map, and you make your way down to the 3rd level now as he soars down, and the pressure now hits you all like a fucking wave. It was like, that's like flying through like saran wrap as a fucking fruit fly. Like, it's rough, but like he's not stopping, full fucking tanking it, just goes through, and the lights drop out in this level as he sort of hits what you thought was like maybe a shadow from the cliff edge. It is almost like a naturally occurring magical darkness with faint points of glowing, hanging plant life that look a lot more vicious than you'd might want to be close up to examine, you know?
Yeah.
Some of them look like gripping hands with like clawed nails and broken bones for fingers. Others look, as you pass them by, like clasped hands together with squirming like they caught something. And this is just on the surface sort of area that you're seeing sort of floating on these sort of wispy, like air pod like roots. Like nothing's growing on the ground down here with seeing as yet. And you haven't even really seen the ground because you guys are just kind of sailing, coasting through the air. And as you make it through, it seems almost like just you're kind of going a little crazy with the events that have happened and the insurmountable amount of darkness and just tension, both physically and sort of emotionally right now.
Yeah.
And you guys, what thoughts are going through your head as you guys are kind of sailing through this darkness, as he's deftly either dodging or just plowing through anything that would be a potential threat at this moment?
Kornath is currently, now that we've kind of calmed down and we've gotten out of the battle, and his cousin was able to,
and he's pretty large, so like you don't have to worry about him like potentially eavesdropping. He's one track mind now that he's got Johann's sort of guidance.
Yeah.
So like if you have a role play conversation,
no, this is all, it's gonna
right
all be internal. Kornath is just kind of recovering. Like he's fucking pretty like just insanely, like he just sucked part of his soul out. He's somewhat healed, but but the big thing is now that Johann is he was able to drink healing potion, so hopefully he's okay. He's had this moment to cool down. Mm-hmm. His first thought is, well, he has 2 thoughts. One, my mouth isn't numb anymore. And 2, is I wonder if I have any more of that fruit. And he looks in his bag to see if there's any left while they're flying.
You absolutely do.
And he just starts eating.
No. I want to roll to stop him.
Going out of my face.
Listen, I'm gonna say canonically right now, y'all are moving too fast for anything to pick up on like a smell.
Let me finish the apple.
If that is going to be something
I hear you, but I'm gonna try to stop him.
It's fair for him to try to knock it out of his hand.
Dexterity contest or something.
It up to your mouth. You're picking it up to your mouth and you're going to swipe it out of his hand before he can take a bite. Go ahead and give me a dexterity between the 2 of you. Just flat dexterity.
That's appropriate.
Whatever the plus is on your
that's 20
ability modifier.
Mine's going to be 4 plus a negative
20?
number.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So you go to lift this up to your mouth and like you bite the tip of one of the fingers of your gauntlets and it hurts real bad. You're like, what the fuck? Because the fruit is gone and you see it sailing off the side into the darkness. as Bugnacious is just staring at you with this look of like, come on, man.
Why?
I don't answer him because he should know. No, I give him a look. I give him a look of like, you know what you did.
No, we don't. To be fair,
You see
Kornoth
it,
does
but
not know
as you
that
look
the
at it
scent
sailing
was
away,
a
you
thing.
see it dropping, and then it just is gone. You don't hear it hit the ground because y'all are moving too fast, but you could tell that it wasn't anywhere near the ground yet.
Yeah. Also,
But now you have just thrown a random fruit into the lowest level of the fucking thing.
fucking
Hey,
littering.
maybe it'll distract something else.
Fucking littering. Also, Tyler, you forgot. You guys never actually explicitly told Kornoth and that it made a
things
smell.
just kinda happened.
Yeah, like you guys never clarified that it was bad and it made this huge scent. So he doesn't know that.
Well, but I am assuming that Kornoth's a smart guy. I'm assuming that he could assume that that fruit is potentially dangerous to attract something.
But he doesn't. Why would he know
Kornoth's
that?
not an
You guys
idiot.
remember-
Why would he know that though?
Because that's physics. Like, what do you mean? Why would he know that? He's a smart guy.
Physics.
About the
Hey,
fruit for
fuck
a
you.
long time.
Fruit monologue.
I
Part
don't know
2.
fruits make smells.
No. It wasn't a normal
Kornoth doesn't
smell.
know
It
that if
was-
you don't tell
It was
him.
a magical smell that was like going out 100 feet. That's not a normal fucking fruit thing, you psychopath.
Well, I don't know that
Okay,
either.
any other thoughts?
Yeah.
I think Eldrick's just full on not paying attention to that situation whatsoever.
You said he was like nervously rubbing the hilts of the...
He's nervously rubbing the
of the
hilts of his
swords,
swords. I think
at
I
the
want
top
to
of each of the swords, as you're kind of like, you're fucking with them probably head down like someone with anxiety.
Mhm.
And
Well, yeah,
you
he
notice
definitely
the
has
tips
anxiety.
of each of the swords, they end in dragons, but each of them sort of differs, and you can tell that each sword was crafted by each of the dragonborns you were there with, Zekna and
Zachna.
I can
Ifani.
never remember. Ifani, yeah. Yeah, thank you.
and you can tell that each dragon in the hilt of the sword was handcrafted by each of them because it has similar features to their sort of face and a little gemstone that is the same color that you can kind of tell just knowing that by your biology that is a carved one of their crystalline scales that is set in each eye. One is the emerald and the other one no, not the emerald. One is the topaz and the other one is the
crystal.
the amethyst.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Think
It
as
kind of
I'm,
gives you a bit of comfort in this moment
Yeah.
to kind of do that. Like
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
a fixation sort of.
I think in that moment, I'm going to reach out with Psionic Mind to the gentleman that we are riding.
You're gonna try to distract him.
That'll be an experience.
No,
There's like 4 gentlemen in there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
go ahead. So what do you
Yeah.
what do you?
So I'm just gonna reach out. My name's Eldrick, and I'm on your back right now. Don't freak out. What's your name?
I'm pretty sure I knew that on account I asked.
Oh, damn. What's your name? I'm so scared right now.
Huh. I feel like any name I gave from any of these past me's is kind of moot at this point. I don't necessarily think I have one now.
Would you like one?
A name? Who are you to name me?
How do you feel about Falcor?
Me. Who are you to name me?
I mean, I was just asking if you wanted one.
A better question will be, what should we call you?
Yeah.
What would you call me? I'll decide whether or not I like it.
Gene.
Multiplicity, the movie.
Gene.
Gene is actually good.
I'll think on it. While I'm thinking on that, we're 100% at your, I don't want to say disposal because I don't want to die, but
Oh no, that's an apt word.
yeah.
Word.
Okay. Well, what are our plans here? What are we going to do?
You guys knew where he was. I don't know who he is, but you guys have one of my quarry. And if this guy made me, maybe he can help in some other plans.
Okay, I see.
Because if he's the one who started all of this and made me into what I am, what I'm going to do to Johann pales in comparison to what I'll do to him. And you are forced out of his mind.
Oh, fuck me, dude. I knew that was a bad idea, but I had to know.
And I'm saying this now just for the record. Kornoth grabbed the broken gene pipe because that's still our mission.
Yeah, you did say you wanted to use the thing, so I'll allow that you guys would have.
Yeah, I had the wand.
Give me a. You know what? We can retcon that right now. Let's get a little stealthy stealth and see if you were able to shrink it. Just a real quick, because he was distracted with other shit. So this isn't like you don't have to get anything crazy high. Just give me if you shrunk it down.
Yeah, I guess it would. So then it would be.
You're good. Then let me see if one of you guys were able to stealth
That'd be
pocket
Bugnacious.
it. So he didn't know where.
No, we're good. I rolled an 18 plus
sleight of hand.
Stealth or sleight? Well, it's 4 for either, so 22.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Okay, so as long as someone has
I will give you that you have the on the fritz gene pipe shrunken down in your possession.
Good.
So,
I will say, because
yourself?
we didn't get to me, I am 100% focused on this mission. I am not really thinking about anything. I'm kind of mind clear, just like preparing for... I mean, I'm not preparing for anything because I have no idea what's coming. I'm just preparing to act.
Is that why you were so ready to slap the bird out of his hand?
I think it's at this point
100%.
Too, as y'all are kind of sailing through the darkness that you, Kornoth, start to feel a like frantic vibration coming from your satchel on your hip. And you pull out the
tablet?
The Arclight tablet.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And you can see a tab with like several notifications of missed messages and now an incoming call coming in through the thing. As you can see, your little mini map shows that you are in the 3rd level. You weren't supposed to do that. This isn't a part of your mission. And you are currently being called as you guys are all sailing down through this.
He answers him.
Is there caller ID?
it just says incoming call from the Restuary.
He answers.
It doesn't say who it is. And then just a hologram appears, like these like sort of light pegs form up and create the visage of Kama.
Kama see me covered in blood still.
Kama looks like pissed as her like visage forms like about like a bust height up out of the sort of like thing, like this sort of light prism kind of view, and she's like, oh my god.
Hey boss, how's it going?
Hey bud.
This was a pretty intense first mission, not gonna lie.
Have you not gotten any of my messages? Were you not checking the Arclight tablet? I told you this is how you were going to be in contact with us during your mission that was supposed to be, I don't know, in Restuary or Remembrance. And you are in the 3rd level of the never-ending darkness.
That is correct, yes.
Do you at least have some sort of breathing apparatus on?
A magical one given to me by the man who stole the artifact. Long story.
He fell unconscious, and he did not put those back on you or himself. No, when he fell unconscious, that dropped. So you are now currently... nothing is happening to you like physically right now, but you are currently inhaling and breathing without one of those rebreathers on.
No, absolutely not. I'm relying on my gladiatorial endurance and
gladiatorial endurance? You're an acolyte for a fucking museum.
I can be two things.
You're not a gladiator, son. This was a test that has gone awry. Why are you in the third level? What is going on? Did you at least get any information about the gene pipe?
Yes, gene pipe.
So much information.
Yes. It is broken now.
Yes.
There's a mad alchemist.
I was informed by Repositor Brennan that there would be people accompanying you. What is? Why do you all look like you've been beaten to shit?
Well,
and what?
We've all been beaten to shit.
How are you moving? How are you moving through the third level at the speed?
Boss,
and rate
I'm going
you're
to just kind of.
You're never gonna believe this.
Boss, I'm just going to kind of spark notes it. We found one of my ancestors, pretty cool guy, hit me with a chair. Then we had to fight a scary monster that came out of the manipulated gene pipe. Very scary. We were able to recapture it. Then we were on a mission to defeat the insane alchemist man who was behind this entire kidnapping and also apparently behind a lot of other robberies and incidents and everything. So we're trying to kind of nip this problem in the bud. It felt like kind of an extension of our job, because if you recovered the item without recovering the robbers, did you really do your full job? But anyway, so we're on our way down. We're currently on the back of that monster I mentioned earlier, sucked up a couple of souls. So there's like 8 people in this bad boy monster.
Plus a dragon.
I'm currently riding
him. Wait.
This is spark notes because we are definitely about to land and fight this alchemist. So I can't answer any questions right now. If I live, I will. These 2 guys, solid. I like them now. They're my bros. I hope it's mutual. No. But anyway, we're probably going to go die. If we fail, you should definitely send everybody to this location.
Oh, we're definitely sending a team down to the third levels to come search for you.
You will be finding our dead bodies.
But also,
bring as many guns and explosives and like anything you got, because this alchemist man is a terror. And
you see her kind of look away from the screen, and you just hear, you send a recruit for 1 level 1 nothing investigation mission.
Well,
send them to.
I'm sorry that you were wrong in assuming that this was like a nothing kind of mission.
This is important. Once he starts talking, he moves the thing to where he's on the screen.
Crumb, I'm sorry.
He like moves the screen.
I'm Little Crumb. Hi, I'm sorry, but
as you're holding the screen up, like one of the panels kind of starts to shift, and you let your hand free, and it folds up into a tiny beholder with 1 little eye. And it's like a little nano beholder made out of little like electronics. And she's like, okay, this thing has recorded all of what you just said. It's coming back here. People are coming to your space. God, try not to die more. There is nothing I can do from here.
That is on the top of our list to not die. That's like item number 1.
The little beholder just flies off.
I love the
and she's like, okay, I guess you've got it. God, something in my chest. I
don't think we have it.
We might not have it. Let's be clear.
We are going to fail.
We might not
I was
have it.
woefully
but we're here.
unprepared.
We're here, and we got. We're gonna try.
Okay.
If you can recover my body,
I'm not freaking out.
I'm definitely freaking out.
And she sort of like goes to screen off to the side and presses a couple things. And she's like, all right, I've sent out at least 2 people, one, Hadan, and another reclaimer, to come down with a couple of artifacts. If you say what it is, what is happening is happening. They're taking some S tier stuff, and they will be down there, as well as, I guess, the church and
everybody,
the law, because why not?
You might want to let the Boog Hive know, because we actually fought that scary lich dragon thing that like came and destroyed the hive. That was here. Yeah, the alchemist made that too.
Yeah, we killed it.
It is dead now. It is most of the reason why
it's kind of dead.
What about wait, backtrack. What about the artifact? Do they have that? Is that with you?
It's with us, but it is very broken.
No,
not the gene pipe. The crystal that you mentioned.
Did I mention?
No, we gave that to Beetleboot Jack. Actually,
yes, I think that's his job. He's on his way back.
The centaur, I can't remember his name. He has it.
Yes, Stan Silva. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
he has it.
Good. I will send some people also over to the church to reclaim that and get that.
Oh shit,
run,
he gave us all of his food.
holy shit.
You might need to bring food for him because he gave us all his food. I did not think about that.
Shit, so much has happened.
Oh my
you thought this
God.
was gonna
Okay,
be like a little
I'm
mission,
gonna-
the egg on your face. Am I right?
This is really escalating.
The egg on
There's
your
a lot
the egg
more
on,
than
the,
egg
the-
on-
To be clear, the egg on your face and the blood on our face, like it's unfortunate, but you know it's funny how things work out.
Also, just a personal note, I feel like my personal skills has really improved since this journey began. I have only accidentally insulted one person.
Couldn't agree more. This has been so great for Corna.
You met your extremist terrorist cousin and immediately bought up every word that he said to you and decided to run with him is what I got
Well, in my
from what you
defense, he's a
said.
pretty nice guy.
Yes, that is
He's a
true.
pretty nice
but
guy when you get to
that
know
is
him.
true, but
Oh, I'm sure. Anyway, I've got a lot to do because you've done a lot. Again, Hadan and another one of our recruits is going to be sitting down here. I'm also going to see if I can't send word to some of the other guilds and see if we can't just put together a full party.
Very quick final note. If when you find all of our almost certainly dead bodies, if you see a scary moss monster, do not engage. He will absolutely kill anything you throw at him.
Have you noticed any weaknesses to this thing? You said you encountered it
well,
before.
we're on his back right now, so let's just not discuss
And
all
at that moment, one of those tendrils comes up from his back and crushes the other half of the Arclight tablet. And he's like, that's enough recruiting people, huh?
I thought
And
you
he
said
just
he was
tucks it off into
distracted.
Well, technically, he has
But
multiple
he
personalities.
he hears
so-
the ruckus behind him, and I think he started piecing, tuning in or whatever. Especially after Matt's fiasco. Also, I slapped the mic. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm talking to the creature we're riding on. You know what? That's fair. Not just trying to cover all our bases. Nothing against
And
you.
he's
Just
just
with
and he
this
just
guy we're
says,
going
"Don't
to kill.
get it." He says, "Don't get it twisted." And some of those tendrils wrap around your ankles, all of you.
Yeah.
And he's like, "At any moment, you guys could be that little technology piece that I just flung off."
Oh yeah, no.
So,
I am quite literally
mind
saying
your P's and Q's.
that was directed at the guy
we're
we're going
helping
to
each
kill,
other,
not
right?
you. Yes.
He says we're helping each other, right? You wouldn't want to.
I explicitly told them not.
betray me, and you hear that all in your head, just
I don't know why you're being so cheeky about this. We're on the same
No, yeah,
page.
I was.
I heard that cat talking about finding
that was
weaknesses to kill me. Why am I the problem?
And I tried to shut that down because that's not what we're doing.
And I only mentioned you to say not to
you
fight
seem
You
you.
don't look like you have any weaknesses.
You just kind of see him shiver and kind of shudder a bit. His skin does that little roiling, rippling stuff, and those tendrils kind of go away, and he's just kind of tweaks a little bit, but he's just focused back on the journey.
Yeah.
And through all of that, you kind of started to make your way down to what would look like the floor of the third level. It's not really covered in any sort of strange fungus or mushrooms. It's a barren sort of pebbled sort of bottom. There's a few sparse plants here and there that are growing in this pebbled sort of soil, but most of them are think a cactus meets a jagged stalactite or boulder. This thing you don't want to touch. You don't want to be near it. And these sort of large umbrellaed mushrooms that hang down with these sort of frill-like tendrils that also seem to have hands reminiscent of the floating sort of plants that you saw up there that reach down towards the ground, grabbing at any sort of beetles or bugs or anything down there. You can hear skittering along the walls the sounds of Gregs, large mole-like gecko creatures, as they zip along the lining of the wall as this guy sort of lands here, and he looks around and he sort of sniffs the air, and he begins to crawl now through these sort of low arching tunnel pathways that are dug by the Greg and other things as you guys make your way down through a system of these. What you can see now is just ore upon ore rich tunnels, just glittering metals and gems everywhere. Untouched stuff, stuff you would only think about in dreams, as this guy's just moving through it, crushing some of them getting caught in his arms and stuff as he's widening out the hole before him with his forearms in this larger sort of troll-like form. And you guys make your way to an expansive opening as he breaks through this tunnel. And there's a sinkhole-like divot that seems to have been dug out, be it by man or by magic. And beset in the center is a black almost seeming oil slick like structure that is a diamond tiered shape that almost looks like two pyramids touching. And he just grins and he's like, "We're here, kids." And he shrinks back down and you guys all fall off of his back as you have now made it to the drawing on the edge of Johann's crude map, Siegfried's lair.
So is Johann not with us?
He was driving.
No, Johann is also there.
Okay.
Yeah. He was driving.
Johann's just been kind of quiet since all this
Gotcha.
shit's gone down.
Sorry,
And
I
he
just
kind
got
of steps away from the gentleman as he's like looking at the map. He's like, "Yep, could not mistake this for anything else." And as you guys now sit there and you're on the edge of this sort of dug down sort of like pit, you can see this diamond structure made of these sort of like intersecting blocks of this like slick looking black oil-like material, like very sheen, sort of like rainbow prismatic kind of colors on it. It doesn't look like anything from this level or any level that you have seen in the Never-Ending Darkness. It's a sort of eyesore in a way in this sort of like beautiful spot. It's like almost as if the nature's moved away, including the very stone itself, from this structure. It is set perfectly on its point in the center of this sort of like wave of stuff, and and that same sort of aura that is coming off of the green gentleman. We don't have a name yet.
I like Gene.
I really like Gene.
Are y'all going with? Well,
that's fair.
We'll get to that in roleplay. Let y'all do whatever, you know. But you see that same sort of aura coming off of the green gentleman is coming off of the fortress itself, and that's
my favorite Panic at the Disco song. Anyway, go ahead.
The air is
green
not
gentleman.
touching any of the area around this sort of diamond-like structure, and it is not touching any of the pit that is dug out around it. It's almost like there's some sort of force. Nothing is touching anything around this thing. It's like warding it off, kind of like how he's warding off this sort of pressure. And as you guys kind of make it to the ground, you and Johann Kornoth are starting to feel a bit like just heavy in the chest, winded, like very much so, like not the best experience to come down here in that fast,
not prepared for this
journey.
Yeah,
and you both kind of feel a little wracked with some exhaustion, and so you're gonna take a spin of exhaustion.
Shit. I'll do I notice them kind of like starting to like breathe a little heavy?
Johann, as he's kind of like catching his breath too, because he's a little more used to it than you, Kornoth, so he kind of like walks over and he's just like, and he places his hand over his face and takes a deep inhale and he tells you, "Hold your breath," and he just puts his hand up and he forms those visors over your face, and you still have the point of exhaustion, but you won't suffer any more points of exhaustion being down here. And you too as well, you aren't suffering anything because your bodies are a bit more acclimated, but you are a little sort of like, it's like getting off of like a ride that sends you in centrifugal force a lot, or like an elevator that drops
We're
a little
disoriented
too quick.
a little bit.
Yeah, you feel a little like dizzy and a little like, and you see the guy just kind of stretching, limbering himself. And he's just like, okay, so this is where he's at, yeah? No funny business happening, huh? There isn't some secret extra weird pyramid bullshit somewhere else.
I hope not.
Down here.
This is the first time I've been here, so
I've never been here either.
No, this is it.
Is there like a trick to get to it, or?
No, we walk down pit. There is a side entrance. I show you. No worries. It's fine.
All right, let's go.
Don't and he looks at you specifically, Kornoth. I need you, cousin. And he takes your hands, your big fucking metal hands, and he takes them in his like pretty big normal hands though. And he's just like, I need you to hear me and hear me well. I know this is a non-bullshit situation here. It is like walking into a room with another one of these green fucks. We wait for prime moment to strike him. It is not him he is worried. He is old man. But you think old man is not prepared with many people around him besides just hired guns? He has what he calls his children. Five of them. They are at his beck and call, almost psychically linked like friend here did with other friend.
Why didn't you mention this earlier when we were talking about...
I don't think he was confident we'd make it this far. This was supposed to be on a certain timetable, you see.
I was waiting for my friends. You show up.
Yes.
Things happen, but if we left at time, get there without any detours, aka dragon and fighting people,
Okay.
we would have gotten it at time. Now there is most certainty that these people are back in base
Okay.
and or potentially getting back. So we can't jump gun. We come in with big strong friend. Let him swing first if you want.
Yes.
What do you
You
think? What
gotta,
do you think,
like-
Gene? Are you cool?
Oh,
taking,
Gene is so good.
like,
That's a
the
good
strong
name.
lead there.
That's a very good.
Well, thanks.
He just like
Are you
he
okay
like
with
looks
that?
at you and like smirks. He's like, sure. Yeah, sounds good. I mean, I'm not too cocky to think that this isn't some ominous crazy shit, but also I think I could handle my own. I'm not looking out
And
necessarily.
I've
for
got
you,
your back,
but
Gene. I'm here with you.
We will stay out of your way.
like how you were here with me, putting me back in the tube.
Well, I was worried you were gonna kill me. Now that we're on the same side, I've got your back for sure. I want to kill this
bygones.
guy here.
Yeah. No,
We're on the same side. I'm not trying to.
a lot of happenings. We're going. I just want to talk to my.
This is
father.
all messy. I
just
get
wanna-
it. I'm with
I
you.
just want to see I want to look the man in the eyes who made this my fucking life. And he like, you see him kind of get crazy eyed as he says that. He's like,
If you were my son, I'd be so proud of you.
yeah.
A single tear.
He kind of looks at you all like, what the fuck? Come on, you.
I'm
just get us in there.
overcompensating. I recognize I am very
He just points at Johan.
overcompensating.
You get us in there. The time for talking is done until we talk to good old Pappy.
I am brown
And he's
nosing
just
100%.
like, every time he says like a father or like a Pappy thing, you can see him like twitch in his eye, like he's just like, you can like, just knowing what he's been through from the
Yeah.
brief moment of meeting you, you know this man lives in hell. His life is just pain.
What's the?
He's
Can
not
Cornat
well.
do a roll to see if like he probably doesn't have the expertise, but is there any chance in hell that this man could be fixed and like these souls be separated again?
Look, give me an Arcana check again, and you won't, and I'll explain some things to you if you get a good roll.
I hope that's a good 23.
Oh.
He's
So from what you gathered when you first
hold on.
examined him,
I have to roll again because I have disadvantage on ability checks because of the
Oh, yeah.
exhaustion. Oh, fuck, yes. Okay, still 23.
Oh god.
I rolled a
Hell yeah.
17 and a 19.
Oh,
Oh,
dang.
yeah.
great. So from what you gathered from the last time you checked
Mhm.
him out and checked out the gene pipe and everything, you can discern that he didn't absorb the souls in the way that the soul was absorbed through the gem. You know that was a transference situation to try and bring that soul back
Right.
into a physical body. What this is now is an adaptation from his mutation into whatever he is now.
Mhm.
The guy, the soul, all of that is long gone. You can tell he's absorbed just the biomaterial and sort of like last few memories of those people.
Got it.
But it's not deeper than like
So, like, those,
their past, maybe like
these are
week
after
of,
images
like-
that we're seeing whenever we.
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
He's like just, and he can't call upon them like that. Like if he transforms into one of them, he has a better time, maybe. But it's like you're not discerning too much of that. You're like mostly discerning that this is not.
So, is the original guy even still
anything.
there? Or
This
is
was-
he just a whole new thing now?
This is a different sort of thing.
Okay.
There was an original person. The rapid mutation has turned him into something.
Right.
else.
The war crime worked, and now he is a different
And you can
thing.
see those reminiscent sort of like black veins in his body, like that the blood that you examined as well,
Mhm.
are running rampant through his body every time he's like, the closer he gets to this area, the more like
Mhm.
to the surface his veins begin to sort of like
Like,
form, and like he seems to almost be getting like energized
Yeah.
by being near this place.
okay.
I don't like that.
Well, he might just be getting
And
excited.
you guys make your way down the side of the crater. Give me athletics, because it's a steep fucking sheer like sort of crater deal that y'all are kind of sliding down.
Athletics, all
Give me
this?
acrobatics or athletics.
I'm getting really lucky with these things because of the disadvantage.
19.
18.
I gotta do one for Johan, sorry.
16.
Okay, yeah, you guys all fucking like standing, slide down, gracefully down the side of this clip. You kind of like wobble, you and Johan being exhausted. And
I'd probably go on all fours since I'm like a bug guy.
Yeah, and you kind of use this sort of like pebbled like soil and like glide your way down to the edge of this thing. And as you get closer to this thing, like you pass through that sort of like threshold of like it blocking out that pressure, and you start to feel like, I don't know, like a different sort of disorientation. It's like getting out of like it's like your ears popping when you're going up in elevation and down in elevation and things like that. Like you kind of like get a sense of clarity that's like a rush to the senses, and you're like, oh fuck, almost disoriented by like not feeling that pressure anymore, not feeling that.
It's
sort of
clean
thing
in here.
within sort of like the thing, yeah. And you and Johan start to feel like you're coming back to, and your exhaustion's still there, but like you feel like being here is going to like
if you wait a couple turns, you might not have it anymore.
Exactly, basically. And Johan walks down, and he's like sort of looking around, like there's not really anything going on. You see, now that you're closer to it, sort of around the perimeter of this thing, there are these smaller sort of like makeshift like metallic like spheres. You can't quite make out any details on them, but they're kind of moving like a swarm together around the perimeter of the outer edge, nearing like the farther reaches. Like it's not anywhere near you, so they can't necessarily tell that y'all are there unless y'all are making a crazy ruckus. But like, actually, stealth checks.
Oh,
Luckily,
yikes.
at disadvantage.
Nat 20.
8.
10.
And this is just a combined one. Yeah, no, I think with that, and then with the big dude, you guys are like totally fine, because the big guy, he also got a fucking natural 20.
Holy
Hell
shit.
yeah.
So yeah, the fucking you guys like slide down. Maybe like as you're kind of getting closer to it, you guys notice that thing and start to get a bit nervous, but they kind of like steal you in, and Johan pulls you off to a panel that's like, now that you're up to this thing is fucking huge. Like standing near this thing that was like the very point at the bottom is like the size of a regular ass elevator. And like it goes up into like expanding layers that are like bigger and bigger and bigger, and they sort of block out any sort of light as you kind of make your way to there, other than like the glistening sort of like shimmer that this stone sort of gives off. And as you're closer to it now, something about this stone is just off-putting from looking at it. It looks vaguely like some sort of material, but you can't comprehend what it could be. It's almost like looking at Vanta black material with like soap bubbles or like oil slicked across it.
Is
And,
this
like,
something like we could
it's
roll
solid
a check
to the touch.
see if
Yeah.
we know, or like that just
I mean,
we
if you-
don't know?
I don't think, I mean, you could give me potentially a history or arcana check, but this is not anything,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean,
I'll roll just in case I
yeah.
roll really good.
I'm going to do Arcana.
An 18.
Oh, beautiful.
I get we might not know.
8.
Like even if we roll good enough, we might just have no idea what it is. But
I would say on an 18, you said?
yeah,
I'd say on an 18, something about it to you as you like examine it further feels like it could be some sort of organic material.
I had a feeling that's
I
what
was
the
not
vibe
expecting
was.
Yeah, not quite like the Booglin, not quite unlike how the Booglin make their sort of hive-like
Yeah.
material. Like it's something organic in nature that has been formed into this solid sort of like.
Yeah, that was the
Material,
vibe.
but
That was the
that's as
vibe I
far
was
as you got.
getting.
But that's as far as you got from it.
Cool.
And Johan walks towards the base of this thing that would look like an elevator, and places his mask up to the side of it, and a panel opens up, and a scan of this like sickly sort of green light, and the doors open,
Cool.
and they open up to what is in fact an elevator. It's like a crudely made sort of like rusted out, like
Yeah.
belying like the exterior, like the inside looks fucking horrendous. Like it looks like y'all are stepping into some sauce shit. Like rusty sort of like cage like elevator with like these steel slats and plates connected to like this massive like chain, like a really dense, like almost
Yeah.
like an anchor chain. And y'all step in, and the creature also steps in, but he's like, I'm gonna go on ahead. And he literally, like goo, slicks between the layer of the elevator and the spot where the chain is exposed and disappears.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the best idea, but he's gone. Oh, okay.
I'm deeply okay with this. Can I just I think we're all on the same page, but I would feel more comfortable if I say it. I am not going to try to fuck with him. There will be a point where I might have to like defend the fight against him because of my cousin.
Oh yeah,
but like I'm not going to start shit with that man.
Johan is like almost like a sigh of relief at this guy being gone, and kind of like kicks the door, like, "Yeah, fuck you.
Cousin, you are really fucked here."
Like to himself,
Johan, you're fighting a battle you're not gonna win. Let's reel it back. Let's reel it back a little bit.
I understand.
Cousin, I will do everything I can, but I think we are
fine.
Really fucked on this one.
This is something I did not want to reveal while we had friend in company. You, and he points at you, Eldrick. There is someone that will be here today. Meeting with Siegfried. Someone you know.
Shit.
What do you mean?
I feel like I recognized seeing someone like you before in my dealings with Siegfried, and while I did not want to assume it might have been you like a double cross, the man was, different. Very much not the nervous sort of, I don't know, and then beast mode guy you are. He was a very stoic, cold individual. Green crystalline scales with the scarring down the side of face, down his neck, in a sort of gold pattern.
Oh, this is fantastic. You have a long-lost cousin too.
I meant to talk to you about this earlier. I was like, I've seen someone who knows more than you do.
I think hearing this, Eldrick is like, he's almost like just staring into the abyss. And just slowly, like, I think he's like starting to get that nervous itch.
If this man is friend with you, and I've seen him do terrible thing with Siegfried's help, of course, they might have a better chance of slowing down Green Friend. Maybe he kill one of them? Oh no, that's sad. But then we come in and clean up.
I love Johan.
You
really do.
handled yourself well in the fight. You, heart of warrior. Him, cold dead eyes, same as yours when you go into that rage. He knows. He's seen. His arm would be covered in these, and he lifts his arm again, showing those tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Just checking, that description is not Zeknag or Afani, right? Because I've seen them and I don't remember what they look like.
This is a different dragon.
I thought so. I just wanted to double check.
But I do believe. Let me get a history check from you, Eldrick, to see if you know, and I'll give you advantage on this because from your reaction alone, I get the distinct feeling you know who this might be.
Yeah. Okay, with advantage.
Yeah.
History. 16.
Oh yeah, you know for certain that he's probably talking about Bagan. Your childhood friend, and now leader of the tribe of Dragonborns that you come from. And he told you straight to your face that he's been working with Siegfried, the guy you guys were initially here to kill.
You say initially, like we're still not.
My plan has not changed.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But like,
You're showing your hand a little bit.
There's a lot of pieces on this here table. So upon hearing that and Johan's sort of plan, he's like, what's going through Eldrick's head right now?
I think
what is Eldrick good at?
Eldrick starts moving away from rubbing the hilts to just like squeezing them, as like white knuckling as hard as he can. Like just like filled with so much emotion, so many mixed emotions.
Bulgnatius, you've been friends with him longer. Is this good or bad?
I think as you guys see Eldrick getting this information, sort of like processing everything, you see that sort of like light starting to kind of well up inside of him. That sort of light that kind of initially kind of comes before his breath weapon is used. But also the hilts, as he's rubbing them, those two beset sort of gems of the sword start to glow. with that same sort of like faint light coming from them as he's getting more and more,
cool.
Flustered with all this information coming to him. So all I can say is,
oh no,
there may be a lot going on when we get up there. I don't think all of his kids are back.
Listen,
the ones who were sent as an envoy to bring your friend are most definitely back. And that makes about him. That's 4 people for sure that are here right now that aren't Green Man, that will definitely face him before we face them if he decides to show himself. Huh?
No, I'm on board with this. I'm expecting us to be more a janitorial service on this particular expedition.
Exactly, my friend.
I feel like my biggest worry is something we're all thinking.
No,
and not to speak for everyone, but I feel like we're all.
You do not put that bad juju.
You mean to say, what if Green Man do this?
You're putting the bad
to
juju
all of them
out
before we get there.
It's out now. You put the bad juju out.
Right?
I'm sorry for putting the bad juju.
What if he goes, ooh, yum, 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 yum. I love it to eat the people. To all of them before we get there.
I mean, the booger almost killed us before he had a dragon inside of him. And then...
Did you notice that he only took wings?
Yes.
I did. That's not reassuring, but I did notice that.
No, for sure.
It implies
I just noticed that he's
it.
not like, long neck crazy. Like he just had like a squirrel.
Look, this has been a crazy day. You know,
yes.
Lots of stuff has happened. I will say, I have grown very appreciative of having you 3 as the only consistency of my life all of a sudden. If we die today, I'm glad I have you 3 with me. I just want to say that before we head upstairs.
Hey, when we die today,
if it weren't for me watching my little crew and myself nearly die and them die and become a soup, I would have been alone at this. So it is great to have found friends amongst these trying circumstances. And I am sorry I have not been as forthcoming. Trust among thieves and all.
No, you're fine.
I don't know you as far as you know me.
You can apologize to us when we make it out of this.
I'm just happy I'm going to get to die with my cousin. That's nice. It's not big, but it's nice.
And he's sort of like, he claps you on the shoulder with like one of those Christian side hugs and brings you in. And then he kind of brings you all in. He's like, look, friends, I am going to be honest, and I need you to look into my absolutely batshit crazy eyes. We might die here. And that's okay.
You are far more confident than I am.
What is death if not like the big sleep, right? We're very tired.
Uh-huh.
So what do you say we go in very stealth-like. We see, we look, we observe. And then, when the iron is hot, we strike.
Skull.
Very good. And he sort of, he passes you all one of his hand-rolled cigarettes. He's like, if you want, you don't have to.
I think Eldrick's still like, Eldrick's still just 100-yard staring. Like,
and as you guys spark up, he could tell that this has been laced with a little bit of scrooms. So you guys are feeling a little,
hell yeah, bringing the scrooms back.
He rolled a little scriff.
Hell yeah. I'm just glad my scrooms made it into the story.
And you guys are hotboxing the elevator as you're taking it up to one of the lower levels.
I think that actually kind of helps Eldrick a little bit.
I was going to say, I will step away and walk over to Eldrick, and he's much taller than me. Yep. But I will put a hand...
It's a big-ass elevator, so there is space enough to have like this sort of separate...
I will walk over to Eldrick and put a hand on the side of his arm comfortingly, because he and I have kind of bonded more so in this group, and say, like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I've got your back, man. Because I can tell that you're having a rough time.
Let's just say, if Bagan's here, I don't really know if that helps or hurts our chances.
Well, whatever this Bagan character brings to the scene, I'll follow your lead, no matter what.
Cousin, you said this was good? It burns in my lungs.
I'll reach out and I'll give Bugnacious like I'll kneel down to your level and I'll give you a good old like forearm arm
Hell
shake.
fucking
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Like the beginning of Predator.
Mhm, yeah.
You son of a
Yeah,
bitch, they got you busy pushing pencils, huh?
I appreciate your friendship, and I hope that we can make it out of this.
Me too.
The numbness is coming back, but like everywhere, but only a little bit. This is.
Johan's just kind of leaned up in the corner with holding his cigarette in his lips. He's like, be cool, man.
Yes. And he's just coughing.
Party foul.
Just you cough to get off, bro.
I want to use psionic mind.
Okay.
I want to talk to Johan.
Oh. This is a long ass elevator
When
ride.
you said
I was
Bagan,
so...
when you said Bagan is here, do you know why he's here?
I just know he said that we should make ourselves scarce for meeting that we were having to sort of discuss things between him and Siegfried. I don't get into other people's work, so I don't know the finer details, but I know that he told us that he had a beloved customer coming by and we had passed him before. And yes.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm
I'm
so
sorry that you were tied in this long before you met me.
All right.
Yeah, it's something I don't really talk about much, but
Is this a situation like me and the Cornoth? Are you dealing with a family drama?
somewhat, not quite the same.
All right. Before we.
But
Someone close, though, yes?
yes.
This is a long ass elevator.
That's a
No, this shit's massive.
Before
Like,
we
I'm
get
trying
to
to
the
let you
longest
know
elevator
that.
ride
I'm just
of
kidding.
all time.
Yeah.
I need to know, Kyle, what is the elevator music? The big elevator had the fucking flight thing where it was like a super long. What is the big
As you
bad
guys
evil
kind of
guys?
wind down from your like talking and are like waiting on this obviously long sort of elevator, you hear an approximation of you would understand the lyrics, Bugnacious, a Booglin equivalent of "Protect Your Neck" by the Boog Tang Clan.
The Boog Tang Clan.
Are you sure it's
Yes.
No, this is like some dank shit. This is some really intense stuff. But you guys finally make your way to
not? Shame
the
on a Booglin who
edge.
tried to run game on a Booglin is what I'm saying.
That's good shit. But you guys start to make your way to the to a stopping point as you feel the elevator come to a sickening click as the chain sways a little bit, and you guys and the doors sort of open up to a
Bloodbath.
a starkly different image than the outside. What looks to be walking through a cold, sort of sterile, like laboratory slash like
We're in a hospital.
like a hospital patient's quarters kind of situation.
Interesting.
As you step into the room out of the elevator, the walls light up with these sort of like glass sort of vials that hang from the wall like almost like lava lamps, but they move a little quicker, and they start to generate light as this liquid begins to spin and coalesce into sort of a so fast moving that it doesn't look like it's moving, and now it's generating this sort of light, and it lights up this room covered in these sort of tiles, like from floor to ceiling, of this same sort of black material. A couple of hospital bed styled like slabs rise up out of the floor made of that same material, and lining the walls behind it are curtains with the glow of some tubes hanging behind those curtains. And from those curtains you can see tools and sort of like a series of like these like pipes and like things wheeled around, like what can be only described as just like a workstation, like some sort of operating station or workstation of some kind. And these tubes have like bubbling, roiling sort of like green liquid that matches the tone of the liquid on the walls and stuff, but not quite. It's almost like they're backlit, like the liquid inside might be clear or something. You're not sure. And Johan is like, this is an access point that is probably safest. Not a lot of traction down here at this sort of time while he is taking his meetings. But this is a don't touch zone. This is a laboratory where he does a lot of his sick experiments, and sort of probably where our friend, our sticky nasty friend, was first sort of concepted.
Have we seen him since we came out of the elevator?
You have not.
Cool.
Can Kornoth see if he like recognizes like
you can? I'll give you this for free though. You can see within the room now that the lights have lit up. Up nearing the ceilings, there are small ventilation shafts that something made of liquid or some sort of semi-liquid like form could easily have gotten through.
So I have a question.
He may have passed through here.
I have primeval awareness, where I can sense if aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fays, fiends, or undead are within 5 miles of me. I can sense their location, their direction, distance, everything. Would I be able to find them?
I will say, you said 5 miles. I will say
within 5 miles.
When you sort of like go into your zen, like, tracking like you're in the woods kind of state, and you open your eyes and they're sort of fogged over. And you guys don't see this, but Bugnacious, you pick up a ping, what looks to be 2 floors above you guys, of 3 entities.
Okay.
And then further down a hall in one of the layers adjoining that just below, you can see a large source as well as a smaller source near it moving about near this large source of from 4 of the entities you get this sort of ping similar to Gene. Yeah. You get that same sort of ping that like uneasy, something about this is wrong. This is a man-made creation situation. And then the other, the major source is not a living entity. It is a source that is giving off this just pure, like, indifferent sort of abyssal energy.
Yeah. Abyssal. Okay.
But the final source that you do sense feels eerily similar to Eldrick.
Oh, interesting. Gotcha. I look at the other 3 and say, while my eyes are still glossed over and milky, I say, stop. I've looked with my special eyes.
What?
And
shit. What the fuck are wrong with your eyes? Oh my god!
What are your blue?
Have you ever seen that glasses commercial? That was the joke I was making. my Booglin eyes.
I hate how many references. Someone's nose is bleeding right now from all the references that were just in that situation.
So there's so much nasty shit up there.
Yes, I see you have picked up
just
on...
to clarify something, the reading I'm getting from the thing like Eldrick up there is different than the reading I would get from Eldrick, right?
Yes, it has a tinge of the same sort of stuff that the other 3 entities have. You can discern that one of those other 3 is the monster guy.
One of them's Gene.
And the other 2 are Siegfried, potentially, and someone else.
Yeah.
And they all are giving off similar readings to that big source of abyssal energy. And the energy that Eldrick, that's like kind of like Eldrick's, is giving off a faint bit of that same abyssal energy as well.
Where's Gene in relation to the rest of them?
I'm
asking.
No, I don't think I can.
Oh, got it.
Discern the difference there. I will say to them, I'm sensing a lot of nasty shit up there, but Eldrick,
you can see the farther source moving towards
them.
the group of.
I would assume that one is Gene, but I will say to Eldrick,
you can make a good assumption that is Gene.
I will say to Eldrick, I think I can tell which one is your kin, but there's something off. I'm detecting an abyssal sense from everything up there. I don't know what that means, or but that's Johann. Do you know anything?
Well, I mean, so yes and no. I expected it from Gene, as you're calling it, and from the big man and one of his children, because that is how they were created. Not Siegfried himself, but he probably juiced himself with a little bit of his own, supply, probably. But similar process to how Gene was born is how his children were born. Your friend, or whoever this is to you, Eldrick, this is news to me that he's been dipping his finger in the pot as well. I just knew he did dealings with him, but there is apparently a bit of a sample party happening or something. I don't know.
All I will say is that I think we might be, if this is even fair to say, I think we might be heading into a stickier mess than we might have first thought. Not that we didn't think we were diving into a half-melted marshmallow already. Things are...
Is this going to be like an Eyes Wide Shut situation, or...
This is more like The Shining, kind of.
Okay, got it.
How long can you keep up the seeing what's going down? Because if we can keep track on when A meets B, we will know when to strike.
I can keep sights on them. As far as I know, it doesn't say that, like, this is a thing I do. I mean, it's a thing I do, but it doesn't say, like, an action or, like, I don't know how.
Yeah. I'd say for posterity's sake, as you guys are moving through and trying to get to a good vantage point, you wouldn't have it on maybe, but then when you come to, like, a stopping point...
I think I would have to stop and, like, focus on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So he's like, all right, well, then follow me. We will try to not get into any more trouble while we make our way through and he puts his hand on, or he puts the mask up to another one of the side walls, and one of the walls falls away to a side sort of like maintenance kind of area, and he's like, we can take these
back to the janitor's closets. Hell yeah, that's a wonderful
no, not quite.
Yes.
The door slides open, and you look down this hall, and you can see it's like almost in between these sort of like blocks now is where you've kind of stepped in, and there are these like series of like black pipes and sort of wiring like tubes feeding that like what looks like that sort of like oil sheen that's on every sort of like object made out of this stuff throughout the entirety of the place itself. It's just like this sort of like brackish black and like kind of rainbowed color as it kind of goes by and catches different lights. Mm-hmm. You see different shades of like green and red and orange and yellow through this stuff, and it's just like pumping like a pulse throughout the entirety of this area that you're in. But you could discern that like if this is here, this is probably everywhere.
Yeah.
And as your eyes are kind of fading away as you're going in, you get a read on those pipes, and you can see a faint shimmer before it's gone of that sort of abyssal energy.
Yeah.
You can discern that that's going through this fluid going throughout the entirety of the space. You guys make your way through this sort of tight, cramped corridors to a ladder that leads up to another section that's kind of like being basically in like a crawl space or like a wall area up on the second floor. And the ladder is like a long ways up. And I'm going to need you guys to give me a stealth check now as you do.
Oh, yeah. Disadvantage, baby.
Yeah. No, you got no disadvantage with this, even though you're just roll flat. You roll flat, Johann rolls flat, you two roll with advantage because you guys are literally hidden in between the walls as you're doing this. So
okay.
Oh, nat 20 for a 22.
14 for a 14.
19.
And Johann got a 10. So you guys are making your way up to this heightened sort of ladder up to the secondary level, like just before the level before. Like there's 2 levels before you get to your main advantage point. You guys have made it now to this next floor, and Johan sort of like holds the mask up to a panel that isn't on the opposite side here, and it opens the door again in a swift motion, and you guys are all kind of pressed up against the walls, and he peers in a little bit with his mask on, and he just kind of calls you guys all in, and you now step out into what is like a corridor, like a long archwayed corridor of this same sort of, again, these black sort of tiles of this, like these blocks that are kind of make up the entirety of this place. As you step into this hallway, there's already dimly lit sort of those globes of like liquid, kind of like a liquid like level, like in like construction and stuff, like on the wall, that give off this like faint green glow to everything. And it's just an expanse that stretches onward with no real discernible doors other than like what Johan knows from being here. And Johan says, okay, so this level here is a sort of a catch-all for the half down this hall, and he points down to what you can see now is another one of those same arched halls stretching downward. That is the dorm area for like workers and the children. We don't go there. Let's not go there.
Nope.
This side, however, is the workrooms and other crafting areas and classrooms and laboratories for his sort of other experiments that aren't biological by nature, like weapons and tools and things like that. They are locked away, so it will be very difficult to get to some things. But we could potentially go there to try and gear up before the big show.
That would be a fantastic idea. Also, is this a cult that our children in schools should, like...
No. He's not kidnapping people. This is like if children was a factory.
Okay.
And this guy found a wellspring that had like, I don't want to say liquid children because something about that is not right.
It is a little
but like,
gross.
He found a way to access a way to make his own sort of life, I guess. I don't know the finer details. I just know he says he has some way to bring people back and make people. Obvious by our green friend, obvious by his promises to me and others. He has something that he is using to bring these people back. And I think it's connected to all of it. The place we are literally walking in, the thing he has done to our gem, all of it somehow is connected back to this source, this whatever it is he is using to do these terrible experiments. My fear is that we would... Whatever it is, we have to destroy it.
Yes.
I don't think it should be left to do the things that we have seen.
Whatever it is does not
as
belong
much as
in a
it
museum. I agree.
No. And it most definitely does not belong in the hands of a quite literal mad old man.
I will say
in
anyone's hands.
As Johan points that out, you guys start to head down the path that he had initially said that wasn't the dormitory kind of like living quarter kind of areas.
Yeah.
And you make your way down the hall, and it's like awe-strikingly like beautiful, but like in a Lovecraftian way. Like you feel like you're on another planet being inside of here, the way that this is all like symmetrically formed and made like to the design of a madman, you know, but like beneath it you can see like the true grit and like lack of maintenance or care and haphazard throwing things together. So it's like just a trip to like be walking through here. But
does it feel like we're in a thing, like in a living creature?
I wouldn't say it feels like you're in a living creature, but there is something there's a buzz to the air that it's like, it's like you're in a crowd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
I'm assuming the pipes kind of feel alive with whatever the fucking liquid is.
Yeah. Like there's just this feeling of like this underlying, like sort of like hum of like chatter and movement, but there's nothing there. Like there's no actual sound. You just feel it. Like you're like in a crowded space, like uncomfortable. not a sense of like you're being watched by a literal something, but like
Yeah.
just like that feeling too of like just like you're exposed, you're outside, you're doing stuff.
Mhm.
Johan makes his way down about like y'all are about halfway down this huge hallway, and there is a section of wall that like separates this, that starts to separate each section as you pass by now into these columns that go down into like almost like shotgun house style, like columns that raise up to the ceilings and just go as far back as you can see, with hallways between to walk down and things like that. And
Okay.
Johan walks up to one of the columns and puts his mask up to it, and it opens up with a door to a room that is dark, dimly lit right now. You can only see like a few scattered lights throughout it, and he just ushers you guys in and closes the door behind you, and the lights start to rise again as the fluid inside the bulb starts to move, and it's lit with that dimly lit green kind of color, and you can tell that you are in some sort of a what looks like a
Treasure room.
like a, not a treasure room, but like
Like an armory?
it's like an armory / like a tool sort of shed
Gotcha.
situation. Like there's
Like a
like stuff in
utility
here that
shed.
looks yeah, like a shed that also has your guns and like things like that, but like you don't see actual guns. You see like
Like
just
a
like
an
Southerner's
armory.
utility
Varying-
shed.
you see varying like lockers with like these like hologram like green sort of light cases that are holding what looks like certain clothes, and
Yeah.
some of them have like tools and things like that, but they're like, Johan's like, this is not going to get me into these. We can try to open one or break one, but if you break into it properly, maybe, hey, no alarm.
There is alarms though.
There could be. I don't know. I've only snatched something once, which was this, and he holds out the wand. Or he doesn't have the wand, actually. You have the wand. He's like,
I
pats himself
probably
to
gave
go
it back
for
to him at some point.
oh, well then, yeah, sure.
I
Yeah, he
trust
shakes that
I
over.
trust him enough, at least at this
Yeah, he's
point.
like,
I
"This
think
is
I probably give it back to
probably
him.
the only thing that I grabbed that was not like, behind some sort of
Yeah.
locker.
I will say to the group, I don't know that getting greedy is our best call here.
What do we have
Oh, no,
access
I
to?
don't know that
yes.
any of us are experienced lock pickers, or this feels
I
very
mean-
risky.
Well, we have access to some stuff. What do we have access to, cousin?
Yeah, can we take a look around and see what is anything kind of like
Well,
Not
he said
behind
noticeably like
Yeah.
like do I see a sword made of like pure radiant energy or anything like
No, there's not. So, like, just from first glance, you see those lockers, but in the center of the room, you see a sort of glass cylinder, like, tank with this sort of roiling, like, fluid with, like, bubbles, almost like one of those lobster tanks in the middle of, like, a grocery store. And inside of that is this just ever-shifting sort of, like, ferrofluid style like thing.
Mhm.
It's moving like it's alive, but you don't see a face or eyes, and you can't quite tell what it is. Like sometimes it'll look like a clothing item, other times it'll look like a shape,
It's a mystery box.
and other times it'll look like, and he's like, I don't know what that is. Maybe that's security. I don't know it. And he like kind of looks at it like up close, and it like you see it sort of shift closer to the glass as he gets close to it, and he backs away and it backs away.
Can Kornoth try to figure out what it is?
Sure. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
14. I lied.
14?
13. Sorry, 13.
13. As far as you can tell, this gives if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, looks like a duck, it's probably some sort of artifact. This doesn't look like it's something from this place. This looks like it's like something being stored in this room, like a lot of this other shit. Like it sticks out like a sore thumb in this room. Like it's not made out of the same material as the stuff around you, and the fluid in the tank is not even the same fluid that you saw in those pipes. this is like its own sort of like this thing is being held here, but you can tell that this is in fact some sort of magical item.
I want to do an investigation to see if Kornoth can figure a way to how to gain access to it, basically, outside of just punching the glass.
And I think Johan, upon hearing you talk about that, he also is going to try and help you with that roll. So roll at advantage. So flat roll since you're exhausted. So.
Okay, then I need to.
Would Eldrick recognize anything in this room?
25.
You could give me a history or arcana check if you feel like you could discern either of those.
Well, I'm just thinking. I heard
have like familiarity with like artifacts like that, but if you guys want to try and see if you know something, I won't say you know like every single thing, even on a natural 20, but like you could get just an idea of.
I'm thinking specifically like because knowing Begon's been like doing dealings and stuff, like I don't know if anything would like if I would recognize anything in here.
I could tell you without even rolling that it's not like this isn't like a baby dragonborn being like seated with some sort of like thing. Yeah. Like it's not some kind of like biological.
No, I'm just thinking anything in the room at all. Like if anything in the room looks
useful thing.
Yeah. I'm freaked out. I didn't get anything out of this room. I'm just freaked out.
I got an 18.
I'll say with an 18, you can tell that it looks vaguely like a specific deep level ore that you guys would mine and ship out that was like only found down here. But that's as much as you can tell. You can tell it's like potentially metallic within nature by the way it like sometimes will reform into like certain things that just look like they give off like it's like this is some sort of metal, like this looks like specifically like an ore you've seen before.
Okay.
Like
the thing in the glass like cylinder?
Yes. Okay. The moving fluid looks like it is of metal nature, specifically of like
gotcha.
It's a abyssal steel.
I got a 25 on that investigation to figure out how to get it.
Holy shit.
I rolled 19. Kornoth is very good at the three things he's good at.
I think you with Johan helping you kind of off on the side with that, you sort of take apart his mask and take that component that is the eye in the center and you futz with it for a bit and sort of like almost like hot wiring a car in a way, like retool some wires and kind of like first you got to unlock this thing. You change it up and you hold it up near a slab next to like one of the things supporting this sort of column, and it lights up like one of the doors, and the tube slides down, and the fluid and everything within it stays perfectly cylindrical. It doesn't move. The thing within, though, with you being so close, shifts its motion towards you and does not sense the glass anymore. And it sort of silly putty slides its way up your arm.
Wow, there's so much going on in the never-ending darkness. I can't even keep up, so much stuff is going on. Lucky that I can listen to Wanderful, a somewhat D&D podcast wherever I get podcasts. That means I can listen and re-listen to my heart's content. I bet the finale is gonna be really good. That's why I am listening on Friday to part 3 of the finale to Road to Redemption. Only on Wanderful. I like Lightning McQueen.